Hello, and what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Psycho-Synopsis. I am Master of the TDS, and I am joined by my lovely wife,
WritingRaven. Now let's get into it.
Newly released viewership data for Dave Filoni's Disney Plus Ahsoka series reveals that the show lost nearly a third of its audience since its premiere episode.
Wah wah.
Now, as you can see, it shows on the one hand for the first episode, the premiere episode, it was 1.2 million households tuned in. This is the Samba TV numbers, so they're not the entire sum of people who watch, but they're pretty accurate.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have the numbers for the final, or finale, I should say, of Ahsoka on Disney Plus, and it has 863,000 people watching.
That is a really sad number.
We can't use this information to determine exactly how many people watch the show, but we can look at it to get an estimate of how many people were watching from certain select places and how they are now.
Yeah, but these numbers that they're using are also the collective number of a certain amount of days. And the amount of days is actually, isn't it more for the finale episode than it is for the premiere?
No, what they did was, I know what you're referencing. What they did was they actually had to extend it. Normally they'd do it for the first 4 days, but they had to do it for the first 6 days for the Ahsoka premiere to get it to be 1.2 million. Here it's for the first 6 days, and they can't even get there.
Oh, wow.
Look at how it's a third of its viewership gone.
I laugh so hard. I can't actually laugh that hard right now because I will burst all of your eardrums, including my husband's.
Yeah, I'm sitting right next to her, so I'm kind of glad that we have a no bursting eardrum zone. This doesn't surprise me. The show isn't terrible, but there's lots of sitting and staring at stuff, and we haven't watched it, but we saw clips and whatever. It doesn't look like it's that well put together.
Yeah, each episode could literally have been extended to half the time that the actual episode is if they take out all of the dead air between dialogue lines.
But they obviously needed it to pad out the episode, and again, nobody says this story isn't something you can enjoy if you want to. If you enjoyed Ahsoka, that's totally fine. But I think that we all see just how many people don't care about Star Wars anymore. And the fact is, because people don't care about it, they didn't tune in. And that's information that we can reliably, based on these numbers, we can determine is true.
Yeah, pretty much. And these numbers are really sad.
It is, because Star Wars was a movie brand. It was always a movie brand. Yeah, we had the Clone Wars and whatever.
And Clone Wars, back in 2003, both Clone Wars series are good. Honestly, that's my opinion on it.
Yeah, they weren't bad, but it was always that Star Wars was a movie brand. And this is what happens when Star Wars is mishandled, but also when it becomes a TV brand.
Yeah, their leadership sucks. Killer Kathleen Kennedy strikes again.
It's just sad that we've gotten to this point. Now, I don't even really want to watch Star Wars stuff anymore because it gets to the point where, why should I? I don't want to watch things that aren't made well. A lot of the things that is a problem with this show from what we've seen could be changed, as my wife said, by cutting out dead air or speeding up fight scenes.
Oh, yeah, that would have been so much better.
Yeah, there's a couple fight scenes where Ahsoka's fighting, and I'm sure it's really hard to fight wearing the head tails.
Technically, it's called a leku. Head tails are for the Twi'leks.
You know what I mean. I'm sure it's very hard. But easily sped up in post. Not even by much. It would have made it look so much better.
Mm-hmm.
And they just took so many liberties with this, and they're setting up for a Dave Filoni movie, and whether it will actually get made, no clue.
Yeah, no idea at all. But what you said earlier reminds me. We share a Disney Plus account with somebody. We finally went on to it out of the blue earlier last week. And the last thing it said in our continue watching was the Clone Wars Season 7. And that was from 3 years ago. Yeah. That's how long it's been since we've watched anything Star Wars. 3 years.
Yeah. It says a lot. And to clarify, it's not our Disney Plus account. It happens to be my parents' account, and they get it for free, and so we can use it when we need to.
Captain Marvel, the Annihilator.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
New opening weekend box office projections for Marvel Studios' upcoming The Marvels film show the film could end up with the lowest opening weekend in MCU history and might end up being the lowest grossing MCU film overall.
Not at all surprising.
So, a lot of people throw a lot of shade towards Brie Larson and her portrayal of Captain Marvel, and I didn't hate the movie. I didn't like it either.
I enjoyed it when I first watched it, but looking back on it, I can see everything that was wrong with it.
Brie has actually kept her head down for the most part since then, and maybe part of it is because of the writer's strikes and the actor strikes or whatever.
Or she got a publicist who told her to shut up.
Yeah, so I don't really have anything against her, and I don't really have anything against any of the people playing the characters in this. I think the biggest problem for the Marvels is that two of the characters, you literally, to understand Monica Rambeau, you have to watch WandaVision. To understand Ms. Marvel, you have to watch Ms. Marvel. Mm-hmm. To understand where this is going to be picking up from, with Nick Fury and whatever, you have to watch Secret Invasion. That's 3 different Disney Plus shows that you need to watch to even understand who 2 of the main characters in this movie are going to be.
It reminds me of that one segment that DC Comics did with Green Lantern and all the other colored lanterns, in which all of their series ended up concluding in this one story arc, but you literally had to read all of the other comics in order to understand how it all ended up that way. It was very confusing.
Yeah, and maybe it does work in some way for comics, but this doesn't work for the MCU. Because again, the MCU is a movie brand. Yeah, we had the spin-off shows here and there, and those were fun, but they were loosely connected. Now they've become like center points, where they're setting up things for movies in the TV shows, as if they expect that everybody's going to drop everything and watch every Disney Plus show, Marvel show, no matter what.
I'm not. No interest.
Nothing against the people playing the characters. I think the person playing Kamala Khan, or Ms. Marvel, is adorable. She's obviously a big fan of the comics. She's even working on... She's co-writing the new Ms. Marvel comics.
Hopefully that one doesn't get canceled and then rebooted too.
I'm pretty sure it was a limited series from the get-go.
Oh, fair enough.
Having a 50 million to 75 million opening week prediction is abysmal. It's lower than Ant-Man 3 or Ant-Man and the Wasp 3 Quantumania.
I thought that was the pre-sale number.
Well, this is not the pre-sale number. This is the box office forecast.
So then what was the pre-sale number? Because I remember that was pretty low too.
Yes, you're correct. The pre-sale number was very low. But we can see here, this is what they project for the opening week. Long-range box office. That's really bad. That's not good. This movie is one of the most expensive Marvel movies they're ever making.
Personally, I don't really understand why it's all calculated in the millions, but I suppose if you think about film budgets and marketing budgets, it makes sense. Because when you hear that this movie made this many millions of dollars and you say that's a low number, it just sounds weird when you say $1 million is a low number.
I get it, but when it comes to a movie, we are seeing like Marvel movies that were the Endgame and Iron Man, all that stuff made a lot of money.
Oh, yes.
Even Captain Marvel, the original movie, made $1 billion. This is not even projected to make $100 million. Wow. Think of how much of a drop that is.
It's quite the drop. It's a cliff dive, I think.
Yeah.
That's the term for it.
Look at that. That's what you compare it to. You look at that and go, fine, Captain Marvel was $1 billion film. There were many reasons for that. Doesn't really matter. The point being, this is not good.
No.
If Disney doesn't wake up soon, they're going to be in for a lot of trouble. But at the same time, I have no plans to watch this film. I feel bad for the actress who plays Kamala Khan. Mm-hmm. But the biggest problem, you have 2 characters that nobody knows unless they watch all the TV shows.
Or read the comics.
Are you like a superhero? Like the Gold Devil.
I'm Daredevil.
3 hours later.
Morning.
This is fine. Slurp.
A new report says that Marvel Studios is completely scrapping their upcoming Daredevil Born Again series for Disney Plus after they had already filmed nearly half of the first season's episodes.
Oh dear.
Now, a lot of people were looking forward to this.
They were?
Well, because in a sense, everybody remembers when you say Daredevil and you say TV show, what comes up in your mind?
Netflix?
Exactly. So a lot of people were really hoping for more of that. We're definitely not getting that.
Wasn't it already proven that when they said it's going to be a little more whimsical or something like that, that it's not going to be like Netflix? Because they actually did a very good portrayal of Daredevil.
Yes, but it wasn't as bad as they made it seem here. It's going to be actually much worse because there's actually a leak of what they were planning, and basically, you're going to hate this, honey.
Oh dear.
They were planning to kill Foggy and Karen off screen and have Daredevil had hung up his suit for like a year because he couldn't save them. And literally, from what the scooper says, again, whether this is true or not, you can decide for yourself, he wasn't even going to be in the suit till the 4th episode.
Can I please kill whoever is writing this?
In Minecraft, right?
Sure, let's go with that. Can I at least hex them in real life?
In Minecraft.
Why does it have to be in Minecraft? Sadness. Come on, it's October! I'm allowed a free pass!
No. But it doesn't surprise me. Now, what they're going to actually do now is the real question. Again, they could just hire the Netflix writers and have them continue it. I doubt they will.
Mm-hmm. Because that would be smart.
One of the things that bothered me, I didn't watch She-Hulk Attorney at Law, but what I saw from it is they basically deconstructed and made the character of Daredevil a lot more humorous. And I'm not against that, but part of the appeal of Daredevil as a character is that he's a very serious person sometimes. He can be funny, but he's a very serious, very, strong-willed person. And seeing him dismantled like that bothered me, so I was never looking forward to this series at all.
You're not alone there. They literally turned him into a joke.
Yeah, they turned him into a joke. And again, no one says that you can't have jokes with characters, especially ones like that, once in a while. But it's when you take a character and you fundamentally changed them, one of their core values or principles, you can do it if you know how to write it correctly. She-Hulk Attorney at Law proved that they didn't know how to write it correctly.
You think? They literally admitted to not knowing how to write courtroom scenes!
They didn't even have anybody there who was anything in legal stuff, so they didn't even know what they were doing.
You do not admit that!
I don't know. I'd be told we're getting a She-Hulk Season 2. We'll have yet to see that. We'll see if it even comes to fruition. But the fact that they're scrapping all this, you could see it as a good sign or a bad sign. One way you could say it is, well, maybe they're waking up. Maybe they'll actually do a better job. Or you can look at it and say, it was so bad that they decided they couldn't put it out there. And I don't really know which is better at this point.
Probably scrapping it and then starting from scratch with competent writers.
I don't think Marvel, or Disney Marvel, I should say, knows what that means.
Obviously. Just hire me and I'll fix everything for you.
No, please don't. We don't need to be involved with those people from Marvel. Sorry.
Good point. I don't want to work in Hollywood anymore after all. That's why I'm in Epicverse.
Yeah, but we'll have to see what shows they come up with next. We have an Ironheart show that's been delayed, the Echo show that's been delayed. All these stuff are being delayed, and there's rumored that they're planning to reboot everything with Secret Wars anyways. I think that there is potential, and I say this loosely, for there to be a great Daredevil show on Disney. I don't think they're going to end up accomplishing that feat. It would be nice if they did. I would love a continuation or at least some reboot, but with the same kind of feel as the Netflix series. Are we going to get that? No.
Well, I know one way they could start. Make his suit completely red again.
Yeah, I don't like the ketchup and mustard theme we have going on here. It doesn't work for me. Maybe that's just me.
Why don't you have a seat?
Because this isn't a therapy session. I'm just asking you what people in your racket say about handling this particular situation.
The diagnosis of this week is schizophrenia, a disorder that affects a person's ability to think, feel, and behave clearly. Traits include
hallucinations,
delusions,
disorganized thinking,
being out of touch with reality. We can see a lot of these qualities in Hollywood these days and in a lot of the topics we covered in this very video.
pretty much.
That is all we have for this week. Let us know what you think in the comments below, and also make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe with notifications on so you do not miss your weekly therapy session.
Or you will be charged.
Gothic Therapy out.